Alright, y'all, what's up, guys? It's just Jason here, back with another quick video. I decided to make some content because I'm getting a lot of students, and I find that I'm explaining to them and demonstrating to them a lot of very simple things that could be much better organized and displayed in a video. So I basically just want to go into some of the modes of training mode, or what used to be called Uncle Punch, that I feel are most important to prioritize, because there's so many things you could practice, so many little intricate things that aren't really worth the time to practice. That's like just specializing on like OCD things that we want to be able to get the most out of our time, especially if we only got a few hours after work, or we're trying to warm up before ranked. We want to know where to place our focus. So this video is going to be mostly targeted at like intermediate to like above average players, but I'm going to be making some very simple videos for like very, very, very big beginners, very, very new beginners, I mean, regarding like simple things like L canceling or wave dashing, because there's a lot of content out there in YouTube and it just doesn't seem the most organized. And I find that a lot of people who are getting into the game aren't really equipped to just jump into the battlefield, and they don't even know where to begin. But this one's going to be mostly for intermediate players, so let's just jump into the training lab. Because the ones we're going to be focusing on is training lab, SDI training, and I'm going to tell you which ones I prefer to avoid. I'm a huge tech chase guy. If you know anything about me or my Sheik, I've been tech chasing for like a decade. I was right up in the advent of that. So the reason why I don't really like this one is because it just drops you like unnaturally right into the tech chase. And timing is just inhuman, it just resets for you and it doesn't give you a natural flow at all. So we prefer to avoid that one. And then you can't really, it's harder to practice your other combos in there. You don't get to change your percentages, and you get most of this in the training lab. And then L cancel training is good if you're a very beginner, very new beginner, of course. Ledge dash training, I also don't really like this one too much because, again, it kind of teleports you weirdly, and then it starts giving you errors if you do it too early. Like, it just doesn't feel natural. So you might be like, oh, but this helps you practice it invincibly. Yeah, I get that, but I find that the better way to do it is actually just to go to training lab, go to the settings, go to human info, no, go to general, go to human color display, and just do invincible. And you can even do something I like to do sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling or what I'm practicing, is enable hitbox trails. I like to put it on fast because we don't need it out there that much. I'm not sure what all of this does, but I've explored a lot of it and gathered what's important. Because you don't have time to practice everything, so you want to make it as natural as possible, so you don't overly focus on things that really don't actually benefit you. So I like to come here, and then as you can see, I'm able to do this like just about invincibly. Then you can see where the hurt box ends. Now it's a little sloppy. Some of them are better than others, but I find that this is the best way to practice, because when you're ledge dashing, you really want it to be I'm getting a lot of atas. You really want it to be mostly invincible, and you want to be able to get your max length like hurt box out there, or make sure you're able to get that grab out invincibly, like these are the things that you want to be practicing and prioritizing. And I find that the actual task that they have for that kind of makes it a little bit too stiff to properly like practice. And then for combo practice, like let's say you take Fox at 23%, you could use the right D-pad to save. Sometimes I get a little taunt. That's because it thinks I'm doing up on the D-pad. So, and then I'll take Fox. Probably usually turn off hurt box trails for this point. Or hitbox trails, rather. And now, like, let's say, okay, I notice, like, let's say I notice that I get Fox up to, like, 41%. you know, and I'm like not exactly sure what to do here or what moves I should be using. So now I could down throw Fox, and now I'm gonna see what dash attack starts to do here. Um, he could tech it, but actually we're gonna go up to 60% because that's 50 to 60 is when I actually start dash attacking nowadays because ASDI down tech has gotten so tight. So we'll take Fox, grab him a couple times. Mess that up. But then the point is, you can kind of get him to where you want him to be. So we'll go from like, go to like 63%, for example. Save that. Oh. Yep. And then now we're going to see what happens with dash attack. Okay, so you see that was just quick enough to get a second dash attack off of. Whereas there were no other options I could really do. Maybe a regrab. But it's like you want to find the spots that start to confuse you and just replay them. So another thing I like to do is, like, let's say you're in a situation like, okay, so Sheik has a slight issue, whereas if I down throw here, I need to be like very sure what I want to do with these corner options so he doesn't get out. Because if he down throws, if he DIs away or in, that creates so many, you know, that creates so many different situations for me to try to experiment with at the ledge. So then I'll take him to the ledge, and then I'll practice how to cover different things. Like he DI'd the F tilt away there. So, you know, now, okay, now there's another option. So then you could start finding out how to react to different situations that you're probably going to run into pretty often. And how to cover them. So that's what I recommend doing, because you'll find that you'll get into situations, a lot of players will get into situations, and they'll realize they don't even know what to do. That probably means that they should, like, think a little bit more of their game plan, study a little bit more, you know, go into Uncle Punch with these characters, because you could also do it with, like, other characters. Take, for example, I always struggle with Luigi because it's just not a matchup that was super common back in the day, and it's so strange. Like, floaty gets so much priority. So, like, you know, you kind of need to get rid of Luigi, like, pretty consistently every time, because the way where she and a lot of characters pull away is going to be in the edge guard department, because if you let him back, he's going to blow you up. So, you know, then I'll probably set this up over here. And this is always trickier than it looks, and you need to be clean. So, like, these are the types of different ways that will benefit you when you're online. You're going to run into these situations against different players, and you want to be more prepared for them rather than unprepared. Another good one is SDI training. This one's a little tricky. So the funny thing about this is that if you do no DI, left actually works. Going right will not work when he's facing you, or in. I'm not exactly sure why that is. Must have to do to Fox's hair Fox with that up air. But as you can see, this one's tough. I recommend spending a lot of time practicing this, because Fox is gonna always, like, kill you off of this, and, like, it's super essential. That's pretty self-explanatory. I don't have an L button, so I actually just gotta restart this game right here. Alright. And doing this before jumping onto ranked will exponentially help your results, and, you know, hopefully not hemorrhage so much elo or rage so much because, like, oh my god, I fucked up. Well, you know, maybe if you practice warm up a little bit, you could do a little bit better. I used to never do that when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I have found the benefits of it. And also, to be fair, we didn't really have this type of material. We would have to practice combos against players, find them in real life to go meet up with. So your combo game was really, like, not as ironed out as everyone's are nowadays, because I realize that everyone just jumps on here and they pick the character that they're struggling against, which makes sense. I just didn't know that people were doing this. I was like busy working and stuff, taking breaks from the game, and they will like jump on and figure out how to edge guard you, and that puts everyone at kind of an equal playing field if you think about it. And then what kind of determines most people's success over others after that point is like neutral game. That's where I come in. If you want my coaching, let me know. Definitely understand neutral game on a deep level. I'll probably make some videos about it at some point, but everyone's got different habits and intricacies they got to work on. So I feel as though that kind of covers most of what I was trying to get into. I'm not sure what else there would be to say. I'm gonna probably make a few like part ones, part twos, and part threes for like beginners and like different levels. It's just like an overall demonstration of how I like to use Uncle Punch at my level, and it could even help out people of much lower levels. And this is even kind of like what the top players would do. Back in the day, Armada would just combo a regular computer, you know, like, and then he would carry that into the online play. I mean the tournament play, and this type of work ethic with these types of tools is incredibly valuable. But thank you for watching, guys. I hope this helped you. And if you need anything, leave a comment, talk to me. Whatever you need to know, let me know. I will let you know. Later, guys.